Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Pokemon trainers and Poke fans everywhere. We are going to be showing off the deck profile for a Lost March variant. I call it the Lost March because it is all about marching our way to victory. Here's our best friend, Skiploom here, the key to our success, Floral Pat to the sky. He is going to jump away to give us Jumpluff, and we're just going to smash our opponent's face and win a lot of games with this amazing budget deck. And when I say budget, I mean it. Literally, guys, I put this together, I got the deck profile online, I changed out a few cards, I put it together last night with under 13 or 14 Unified Minds pack, something like that. But I basically got every card I needed. I had some of the trainer cards previously, but yeah, like Cynthia's, Lillie's, so you guys should all have like Pokemon Comms, Pokégear, Netball. I think Lost Blender is one card that you may need to get. Custom Caster, you should have them. Professor Elms, you should have these already, but if not, they're not that hard to find. You can grab 4 of those. And then you'll need, for Pokemon lineup, you'll need the... Alright, let's just get into it here. I'll just show you off this. Oranguru, Trumbeak 4, Hoppip 4, Skiploom 4, Jumpluff 4. A Kartana is good to have. I'm running 2 Kartanas in the other variant, but you can also run a Pheromosa Buzzwole for some nice jet punches early on to soften up the battlefield. We have no switches in this deck, so retreating anything that has a high retreat cost is a problem. So that's why in the variant, second variant, I've decided to take that out. But I'm going to show you guys this one because we have 4 games with this, and this is the one that seems to be the most consistent for the current meta. So, as usual, let's get into it with our Pokemon lineup, starting off with our primary attacker, Jumpluff. We have the nice Pokemon League edition here, shiny. So this Pokemon, Jumpluff, is a stage 2 that evolves from Hoppip into Skiploom into Jumpluff. Honestly, I have never been impressed with Pokemon, but with this Pokemon, but now I am. Now I completely am. Like, just because of this card, and just because of how fun this deck is. I've been playing him since last night. I would have to say I've only lost 2-3 games at the most out of like, what, 12-13 games. And then there were the few that we recorded for you guys. I think out of the 6 or 7 I tried to record for you guys, we won 6 games, only lost 1 because of a terribly bad hand where 4 of our energy cards got prized. Since this deck does run a low energy count, you're going to need those energy cards. And it can also be problematic if multiple Skiploom get prized, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But this card here, Jumpluff, 70 HP, stage 2 grass Pokemon, does a Lost March for 1 single grass energy, 20 damage. This attack does 20 damage for each of your Pokemon except Prism Star Pokemon in the Lost Zone. It has 2 weakness to lightning, double weakness to lightning, double resistance to fighting, and a free retreat. So, even in the fiercest wind, it controls its fluff to make its way to any place in the world it wants. So it jumps around, ladies and gentlemen, and it is our path. It is going to jump its way to our victory in this deck. So, let's go backwards here. Skiploom. I really love this art here because what this Pokemon does, it has Floral Path to the Sky. It evolves off of Hoppip, and once during your turn before you attack, you may search your deck for Jumpluff, put this Pokemon and all cards attached to it in the Lost Zone, and put that Jumpluff in its place. So basically it's making room for its evolution by sending itself to the Lost Zone. This card is a trooper, ladies and gentlemen, making the true sacrifice so that our primary attacker can get on the bench and take us to victory here. It's tragic, but it's very honorable at the same time, and we're gonna make sure that our Skiploom sacrifice does not go in vain. You will be remembered, oh brave Skiploom. So, what is our advantage? Because sending cards into the Lost Zone nets us more damage with Lost March, and we're going to talk about how many options we have and what is our maximum damage potential going to look like on this deck, and I think the numbers are going to scare you a little bit here. So the Hoppip, basic Hoppip, 40 HP, nothing special here. He evolves into our Skiploom, which is super special. We Floral Path to the Sky to send both the Hoppip, the Skiploom, into our Lost Zone to get Jumpluff onto the field for free. So all you need to do is search for Skiploom, who conveniently is a 60 HP Pokemon that we can search with Professor Elm's lecture. So that being said, let's move on to the other Pokemon. So, one Oranguru with Resource Management, Put 3 cards from your discard pile onto the bottom of your deck in any order if you already don't know this. I don't think we're going to be using the Profound Knowledge at all, maybe in a very, very rare scenario because it costs 3 energy, and as you can see, we only run a 7 in this deck, which would be a very heavy sacrifice in terms of energy for us. Same with the Kartana's Big Swipe, False Swipe, sorry. We might use Big Cut depending on the situation, but False Swipe is another one where we may not want to invest those energies to make that happen. Anyway, moving on. So we have one of those, and we need him because we need to thin this deck out fast, and we are going to be trying to thin it out as quick as possible so we can get to the cards we need, because it's a very basic deck, and we just need energies and our Jumpluff to make things happen once we discard a significant amount of cards into the Lost Zone. One Kartana, I am running 2 in the other variant. I'll show you that real quick at the end so you guys have the deck list. The gameplay and strategy is pretty much equivalent. I'm just running it in lieu of the Buzzwole Pheromosa because it has free retreat. And that's kind of what is I feel like more important for us. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be running a second Kartana, I think is what. But since we played with this deck, I'm going to show you the Buzzwole anyway. For one energy, we get Jet Punch for 30, and also Beast Game for 50 can net us 2 prize cards. If we can knock out the enemy Pokemon with that, which we can do in a lot of the cases. So having him in here makes sense. I just like the Kartana better because of the free retreat in case he gets to be our first basic, and because there's no targets in here that will net our opponent multiple prize cards, and that can be super scary when playing Jumpluff because you will lose 1 or 2 Jumpluff in a long game, maybe even 3 before you win the game. So not having a lot of primary attackers here, being Jumpluff being only 70 HP, giving your opponent a chance to take 3 prize cards with this guy is a little scary. I just left him in here because that's what the deck list I have found had in there, and I felt that he made reasonable sense having the 1 energy attacks on both the Jet Punch and the Beast Game. But then later, after playing, I was like, I would rather just have 2 Kartana. So that's what happened there. That's why he's in there. So Kartana with this is an Ultra Beast with also 70 HP, free retreat, which I really like. This deck has a lot of free retreaters, right? Skiploom can do that, Jumpluff can do that, and Kartana can do that. And Emolga can do that. And then you have a single star retreat for Trumbeak here. So pretty good. Anyway, Kartana with Big Cut. If you have exactly 4 prize cards remaining, that means 2 Jumpluff down. You're do 130 damage for 1 energy with this, which is super duper useful. Unless you're doing, you're already doing more than that with your Jumpluff, which then he would just be like a secondary attacker you can have on the bench. Pitch in some extra damage in case you don't have a Jumpluff ready to go. False Swipe for 3 energies, 1 grass and 2 standard. You flip a coin, and if it's heads, you basically put damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon until its remaining HP is 10. So that's pretty scary for anybody to deal with if you can get that head. So it's kind of like that Chansey thing, where if it works out, is you get the high risk, high reward, basically. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Okay, anyway. Basic Emolga, super useful in our deck because we can search for other Emolgas and then we can discard them with either our Lost Blender, or we can Pokécoms them for Skiplooms or something that we actually need. So really good to have Emolga in there. This does run 3 Pokécoms, which is I think enough. You can run 4, just to put that out there. Yeah, you can like switch between like a Pokécoms and like the Lillie and Cynthia, or even an Elms is you know, you can live without it, is my point. So you could do like 1 less Pokécom, or 1 less Elms for a Pokécom, or vice versa, basically, is the way you can play that. I haven't had any trouble between the both, so I'm just suggesting both out there. So Emolga is useful for that purpose. He has free retreat, so in case he is your basic, you can get rid of him, and you know, you can just retreat for free and put up your Jumpluff and start smacking them. And then you have your Marshadow. This guy's in here because we only run 2 stadiums in here because we don't have a lot of space for other cards in this deck. Which is 2 Shrine of Punishments, and then this is going to give you 1 reset on an opponent's stadium, which is really good too. So, super good there, as long as you have them on your bench. 1 switch may not be a terrible idea in this, but like, just looking at the space-wise in this deck, like, I don't know what else we can lose. Like, we can lose maybe a Pokégear here, but that can be super useful in a situation where you desperately need to reset your hand with the Cynthia or something, so I don't know what else we would trade off in this deck. So, yeah, tough choices with the space management. Maybe we could lose a Buzz and then get in that switch or something. I don't know. It's up to you guys. Try your variations. Let me know if something works out brilliantly for you, and I'll probably take your advice on that. So, one bench Mew. I like this card because there's a lot of Pokemon that can attack your bench in the meta, and you don't want your Jumpluff setup to get zapped or something, or just taken out of bench, basically. Like Giratina Garchomp, 2 attacks will take out your Jumpluff, linear attack. So, anything like that, you know, Pikarom obviously, but just security, you don't have to play him. You can just Lost Blunder him for damage if your opponent doesn't have any bench attackers, and that's fine too. But if he does, having this on your bench will keep you safe while you set up, and yeah, they can't hurt you. So that's in there because of the meta, or otherwise I would have lost this card. Just simply grab one of the other cards we discussed here. But that's in there. For Custom Catcher, great for gusting. We won the Dark Fox matchup with that. If you haven't seen that game, go take a look at the gameplay video. Super fun. We one-hit KO a Greninja Zoroark. I said Zeraora in the video. I apologize. I was excited. I got it confused. It is Greninja Zoroark tag team. We one-shot it with 280 damage with our Jumpluff. Super fun. Go check out that video, guys. Link's going to be in the description if you haven't already seen it. For Lost Blunder, obviously, because we want to put 2 cards from our hand in the Lost Zone, and preferably we want to make those Pokemon cards so that we can power up our Jumpluff to the max. And then we have 4 net balls for drawing out energies, because we are running a low energy count, either drawing out an energy or a basic Hoppip, you know, or a Kartana. Useful there, but mostly for the energy search there. You could also run... No, this is just better. I was going to suggest Energy Spinner, but this is better because it has dual purpose for us. And Energy Spinner still nets you only 1 after turn 2. So, yeah, I mean, if you're not playing it first on your turn 2 is what I meant to say. Pokégear, in there, 2 of them, so we can draw supporters. Pokécom, 3, 2 Shrine of Punishment, 4 Cynthia, 1 Lillie, 4 Elms, and 7 Energy. Pretty straightforward there. Elms lets you draw 3 Pokemon with 60 HP or less, which is going to be all your Hoppips, all your Skiplooms, all your Emolgas, so your Mew, if you need to do that. But yeah, pretty good. So the concept is to get a Hoppip on the bench, then you want to get a Skiploom on a turn 2, Floral Path to the Sky away your Skiploom so you can get your beautiful Jumpluff, and then start setting up multiple Jumpluffs while you attempt to discard as many Pokemon as you can into the Lost Zone. So Trumbeak, if you didn't already know, you Mountain Pass, and if your opponent has a supporter card, you put it in the Lost Zone. If you look at the top card of your opponent's deck, and if it's a supporter card, you put it in the Lost Zone along with this card. If it's not, you still put this card in the Lost Zone, which accelerates your Jumpluff damage. So let's calculate the total potential damage you could do with this deck, and the numbers are going to be quite scary, guys. Assuming we ran nothing but Jumpluffs, and that means we're going to run all 4 Jumpluffs, but the ideal situation would be 3 Jumpluffs and an Oranguru. That should be enough to net you most games, but assuming we're running all 4 of our Jumpluffs and the Oranguru, okay, for the ideal bench here, you know, you're done with everything else. You didn't need to get anything else on the bench, and now you've discarded every other Pokemon into the Lost Zone, okay? So let's calculate our damage here real quick, okay? 1 plus 4 is 5. 4 Emolgas, which go into the Lost Zone with Lost Blunder. So you need 2 Lost Blunder to send in 4 Emolga, 1 more Lost Blunder to send in Marshadow Mew, and then 1 more Lost Blunder to send in Kartana and Buzzwole, okay? So there you go. You've Lost Blundered away 5 plus 10, 5, 10, and then you've got 1, 2, 3 odd-out Pokemon, and then you've got 8 here. So that's 11, 21 Pokemon, right? Sorry, 20 Pokemon total? Because we have 4 plus 1, 5, yeah. So 20 Pokemon total sent into the Lost Zone. That means you do a total of 200 damage. Sorry, 20 into 20, 400 damage. I was going to say, even if you do half of that, that means 10 Pokemon, you still do 200 damage, which is psychotic. Psychotic, ladies and gentlemen. That means with an ideal 4 Jumpluff, 1 Oranguru setup, and discarding 20 Pokemon in the Lost Zone, you do 400 damage with this Jumpluff, 1-hit KO every single Pokemon in this game. Even if you can get to 300 damage, which is 5 Pokemon less, that means you only need to discard 15 Pokemon. That still is enough to one-shot every single Pokemon in this game. Will be enough to one-shot every single Tag Team GX, Tag Team Trio so far, unless we get anything beefier than 330, which is the Vanguard cards, which haven't even come out yet. So we have the V cards. I think, what is it? V for Evolution, V for Vanguard, I don't remember what it is. Whatever it is, those are the big ones, but we don't have those yet. But Jumpluff is that big one-shotter, so you look to discard as many Pokemon as you can, and then boom, bing, bang, you one-shot. 20 cards gives you 400, 10 cards gives you 200, anything in between still gives you a ton of damage. So yeah, so get this deck together, guys. Have fun playing it. Let me show you the other variant real quick. 25 Pokemon. What was I doing here? So I'm running 8 energy in this, which means I could probably run 1 less of that and 1 more of that for convenience purposes. But yeah, this works this way too, or you could do vice versa. It's just minor things, guys. It's like that minute thing that may cause a 3 or 4% consistency difference depending on the situation. But yeah, this is the second version, running 2 Kartanas with big cut, so we have no big targets here. I'm running 3 Elms, all 5 versa our draw supporters here. 3 Elms and then 3 Netball, 4 Pokécoms. And then 8 energies just to keep you a little bit healthier in case you need to retreat something here. 1 more extra energy thrown in there because we have no switch. And this should pretty much keep you good. If you're getting basic Oranguru first, that's going to be a terrible game for you because it's going to take you 2 energy attaches to retreat him, or else he's just going to have to die before you get your Pokemon out there. But everything else in here should be pretty easy to retreat and pretty easy to play. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Keep watch for the gameplay video. Go watch that if you haven't seen it. We'll discuss more of the strategy in there. You'll see me playing discarding cards into the Lost Zone, Lost Marching for a ton of damage, and just having a whole lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe for more great Pokemon TCGO content. Have a good day, good night, wherever you are. This is your favorite Dr. Professor Oak signing off.